Hi, and welcome to Bulldog Profiles. I'm Kylie Gregor. This series focuses on our new staff here at RB for the 2015-16 school year. Joining me on this edition is Keith Miller. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
And what we want to do first is give our viewers at home an idea of what you do for us here at RB. So if you could talk to us a little bit about your job here.
Okay, I work in the special education department, and I assist the teachers with the students in their homework if they need a little extra work during the day, or most of my day is spent with one of the students. And I follow him around the day and keep him on task, and basically just work with him individually and making sure he's getting the information and giving that extra bonus help he needs.
Great. And where were you before you came to us at RB?
Well, before I came to RB, I was a battalion chief with the Pleasantview Fire Department for the last 28 years.
Wow, that's fantastic. What made you make the transition then from fire department to education?
Originally, I was going to go into physical education as a teacher, and the funny thing about it is it's not my first time here at RB. I did my student teaching here in 1985.
Oh wow, okay.
And during that time, I did work with Ken Brown in Special Rec, so I sort of got a little taste of it there, and then during my college years, I did a lot of work with Special Olympics. So I've always had that interest in special education, helping kids with needs.
Okay.
So it sort of seemed natural to come back and try it again.
So you went through your student teaching here, but then you made the decision to go on into the fire department where you spent 28 years.
Correct.
Fantastic. So a life of service all the way around, fire department and here. So was working in the fire department your first job when you sort of spread your wings and became an adult?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
That was the goal.
And what was the progression like there? I think you said battalion chief is where you ended up.
Yep.
So when you first started, what was your...
I started as a volunteer fireman in North Riverside, and took tests to become a full-time fireman, got hired in Pleasantview, and worked my way up the ranks from fireman, lieutenant to captain, battalion chief.
Wow, that's a great progression. Congratulations on that service. Talk to me a little bit about your day here at RB. What does a typical day look like for you, and what are some of the highlights of a typical day at RB for you?
My morning starts out getting prepared, coming to school about 7:30, getting prepared for my student, checking, making sure his homework was done, and then first hour I check him in, making sure he has his homework done, he was all ready to go, and then help out with first class is our English class. I have a group of 5 students I work with in English because we divide them with different levels. Work with those in first hour. Second hour, I work with another student and her work study program. Okay. We go work in the library and teaching her working on progressively to working on full-time maybe at a library someday, when she graduates from RB. Third hour back in PE with Dan, one of my students. I work with him in his PE. Then we go to vocational studies, living skills. This hour I work with Kevin Turk in history. Okay. And then back with Dan for math class. Then after middle of school, then I go out and hit the football field. So I'm on the freshman football team till about 6 o'clock.
Okay, so it's a long day for you.
It is a long day, but it's a
7:30
great
to
day.
6 o'clock. Fantastic. What do you like most about RB?
The community. I went to Proviso West when I was in high school, which is a big school, and even though we used to be in the same conference and rivals, when I came to RB, I noticed there was a much more of a community spirit. And it just, at Proviso was sort of like in school, but once you got into the community, it was gone. But here at RB, and I live in town, and it's always been that the whole town is around RB. Everybody talks about RB. It's not just something that the students talk about, and that's something I really enjoyed about RB. And when I was here doing my student teaching, the faculty was fantastic. I always enjoyed working with the students. They're always friendly, and the same thing goes now. See kids in the summer walk by my house, they say hello and I say hello back, and it's a community atmosphere. What's
that like being here in 1985 and then coming back and being here in 2015? What are some of the biggest differences that you see from then to now? Well, the biggest difference is the building. Yeah. It's really made some major changes with the addition and everything. So it was, it's actually, I find it less confusing getting around now than before. It seems like the numbers back then were a little different. But a lot of things have stayed the same. You know, the community atmosphere is still here. The teachers really care a lot about the students, and the students, really give back to the school. And that's something that was there then, and it's still now. So even though it's been quite a few years, fantastic. It's still a great place to be. It's a good thing I wasn't here when the old building, because I think the rooms are confusing enough as it is. Give us your final thoughts. If there were some words that you wanted to leave our viewers with to help us remember you, what might they be? Like a last minute, this is really the end of our discussion, here's what I think. One of the reasons why I came back from retired, I had a lot of choices to go to different schools, and one thing that brought me back to RB was the community and the students and the teachers caring for the students.
You know, a lot of high schools, it's, you know, they teach, they're done, they go home. But I think here at RB, it's a give back to the community. You know, the teams, the clubs, they're all looking, how can we do a service product for the community? And a lot of places not like that. And that's one thing that's drawn me back to RB, to have that community atmosphere.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We really enjoyed getting an opportunity to hear a little bit more about you, and I wish you a great 2015-16 school year. This has been Bulldog Profiles, and I will see you next time. I'm Kylie Gregor. Thank you.